Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. You remember that song, buddy?
ELP.
That's right, off the album Brain
Salad
Surgery. Man, you're good. Hey, guys, I am DC, host of, Barside Jive Live. I have to think about it a minute. Today is January 24th, 2019, and it is National Compliment Day. So you guys look freaking awesome. How was that?
Why, thank you.
Things that have never been said.
And Adonis doesn't even have a tie. No, he's Adonis is in his casual wear. There's a PE clothes, we used to call it.
He's got the Elvis collar going, though, so it
That's right.
validates him.
Absolutely. We got a little cool action going on. Yeah. So it is Compliment Day, so I hope you guys are complimenting each other. I complimented everybody on Facebook this morning, so I got it done right away. But I'm so glad you guys decided to hang out here with us this evening on this show here at Vokal Media Studios in Dallas, near downtown Dallas, in Dallas. This show happens at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, or 1930 hours for you guys in public safety and military. And we do it every freaking Thursday at 7:30 to 8:30. So we're glad you're with us. This show is sponsored by Outlaw Cider. It's the only cidery in Grapevine, and it is located in historic downtown Grapevine, Texas. Barside Jive is Outlaw Cider Central, and one of my favorite drinks. It is, this place is veteran-owned. They have a pet-friendly covered patio, table games, and ships their ciders nationwide. And Bob loves their ciders.
I love it.
All 6 of them. In addition to Outlaw Cider Company, Barside Jive is also sponsored now by the zoo. You know, in the 70s and 80s, I know Buddy remembers, it was Texas Best Rock.
I have a faint memory of the zoo.
Yeah, I know you do. Today, though,
I had a faint memory most of the time I was listening to it.
Today, they're worldwide, buddy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they got listeners in Europe and Asia and just all over the freaking place. So
everybody should have had a taste of that back in the day when it was happening.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can go back and listen. They got Beverly Beasley and Chaz Mixon and Ira Lipscomb and George Gamark and all those guys. They're retired now. They're a little bit older, but so are we.
I see John Rhodey from time to time, and it was a shame the way John LaBella had to go. He used to get me to school every morning.
Yeah, that was tough. Man, a lot of people are going.
Yep.
Yeah. But we're still here, and as long as we're here, we're going to do this show every Thursday at 7:30.
Hopefully we'll be here for at least another hour.
I hope so. But you can always listen to this show 24/7, 365 days a year. Well, no, not quite 365, but close to it. And vocalnow.com. So get your phones out. Go download the Vokal Now app. And then you can check out my show, Barside Jive, where I interview the musicians that made it. And you can go to Barside Jive Live and see this show. After we...
you can go to the bar and see the ones that didn't make it.
Yeah, you can. You can.
Tried to make it.
But Buddy made it. Buddy's been on that show. So, but no, you guys support. You know, we appreciate you very much because without you, we wouldn't do this at all. If you guys ever want to be featured on this show, you're a musician or say you're a company and you want to sponsor this show or put on an ad, be glad to do it for you. Just drop me a line, dc@barsidejive.com. Get a lot of email, but I answer all of them. So just fire away, whatever you want to do, advertise or be on the show or just tell us how great it is. Tell us how good looking Bob is. Just send us an email. I'll make sure he gets notified. So our show is primarily about music. We leave the sports to Brad Sham because he's on here too. And you can check him out at vocalnow.com as well. Guys, I got some breaking freaking news that I need to lay on you real quick. This is pretty hot. I know you guys like alien stories, you know, so this is pretty current, and you need to be aware of this. Fast radio burst linked to alien sources. This is out of Toronto. This is fresh. Scientists have detected the second repeating fast radio burst, FRB they call them, ever recorded, a discovery that may help determine the origin of these mysterious signals, which have been linked with advanced alien technology, buddy, in the past. Fast radio bursts now, if you don't know what those are brief, like millisecond long, but intense emissions of radio light. Well, these can pack as much energy as our own sun produces over the course of nearly a century. Their source is the topic of much discussion and debate. Now, in 2017, Harvard scientists have speculated these FRBs might be leakage. Don't talk about leakage here. From planet-sized transmitters powering interstellar probes in distant galaxies. They said that since a natural origin cannot be identified, an artificial or alien origin is definitely a possibility. Until now, there was only one known repeating FRB. Knowing that there is another suggests that there could be more out there, buddy. So there you go.
Super heterodyning, eh?
There you go. Absolutely. FRBs, be aware. They keep on happening. So they're trying to talk to us, guys. That's what they say. So, of course, anything comes out of Toronto, got to be pretty accurate, right? Our friends to the north, right? So, hey, guys, and I know some of you are out of work. I know the government shut down, and some of the government shut down. And some of you guys are out of work. Bob, are you out of work right now?
No, I'm never out of work.
Bob's trying to shed work.
I want to trade with Bob.
Mm-hmm. Bob, so if you need extra cash, Bob, if you want to help science and line your pockets with a little bit of money, there are some unconventional ways to do this. We've got a list. Number one, this is serious stuff too. Said nothing to laugh about. You can sell your blood plasma. The payout is $20 to $50 per donation. So, go a couple of times a day, and that's $100.
When I was in the Navy, that was Vampire Liberty.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's where you got your beer money.
Your beer money, yeah.
Well, you have to get somebody to carry you in the second time in the day, or what?
Yeah, really. So you can also donate your reproductive cells. The payout for eggs is $5,000 to $10,000 per donation. The payout for sperm, $30 to $200 per donation. So there you can make a little bit more money. Now you can lay in bed for 70 days straight, $18,000. NASA's in charge of that program. Lay in bed for 70 days straight. Be tough, wouldn't it?
I think I could do it.
With your phone, as long as you had a phone and maybe some Netflix.
Or maybe not the phone. That'd be
maybe not the phone.
Yeah, just leave the phone. Put the phone under the bed or something.
Buddy's old school. He doesn't like the phone.
Well, I don't mind it. I just don't want to be tethered to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or, you can enroll in psychological experiments. The payout varies per program. They only tell you how much, but some of them pay well, some of them don't pay so much. But you can always do the psychological experimentation. And lastly, you can donate a testicle. The payout for this bad boy is $35,000 per testicle. And if they don't just leave you hanging, they'll replace it with an artificial one and still pay you $35,000. So you got an artificial nut and you get $35,000 in your pocket. They buy a lot of cider.
Pockets and nuts. No, that doesn't work, man.
Oh man. Well, that's where do you get information like that other than this show? It's just hard to come by. You just don't get that on the regular news. All right, guys. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our guest. He's a lifelong Texan. He's a Fort Worth guy, Buddy Whittington. He entered the arena of this life on December 28th of 1956 in Fort Worth and became enamored with the electric guitar. Of course, a lot of kids.
Now hold on. Is this an introduction or is this a eulogy?
It'll serve us both.
It kind of sounds like going out.
It'll serve us both, buddy.
I think I wrote it, so I must have been planning on going out the other way.
I guess so. You've outlived it because I know it's outdated because I had to make some changes to it.
There are more important things in life than self-promotion,
Yeah, that's true. But Buddy was enamored by it. He said you plucked a string And then the sound came out over there.
You know what? I got to fess up. Actually, my friend Larry Funches said that, and it hung in my brain one day, and I thought, I'm going to use that somewhere. So, Larry, I stole that from you.
Sounds good. And although Buddy had no other family members that actually played an instrument, they were still loved music, and it was played often around his place. Of course, Buddy grew up on all the big radio stations of the day, not just FM but AM.
Oh yeah.
What was your most favorite AM station?
KFJZ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And your favorite FM station?
Well, there's
your favorite, buddy.
Early
Quit stuttering.
KFAD with John Dillon, way back.
Okay.
John Dillon montage. That was about the first one that was not, just commercial radio.
Right. And then after that,
well, the Zoo, Q102,
yeah,
KAFM, all of them.
Yeah.
How about K-Box?
KBOX.
Remember that?
Yeah, sure do. That was over here, though. It's Dow Station,
Yes, it
right?
was.
Yeah.
Dow and
KLIF,
Cliff.
yeah.
KLIF.
So your mom and dad were into Bob Wills, the Texas Playboy.
That's right.
Were you?
I was, and I still love Western Swing.
Right.
But my thing was with it was at the time I didn't realize the importance of it, and I wanted it to be. I wanted to play blues and rock and roll at an early age, and I did. And then I started playing with some Western Swing players when I got older, and I went, boy, I wish I'd have listened to that a little better.
Yeah. Oh, those guys were amazing.
Great guys.
Well, so Buddy went on, and he listened to, of course, everybody that we listened to, Elvis, Buddy Holly, Beatles, Stones, and then John Mayall's Blues Breakers.
Well, actually, my sister had a big pile of records.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister just checked out on me here a while back after practically raising me a lot of the time when my mom was at work. But she had, let's see, I got here in 56, so 64, that would be what, 8 years old, 7 or 8, right around in there. I walked in her room one day, and she had a little stereophonic stereo with the two little clip-on speakers.
Right.
And she had these posters of these long-haired guys smoking cigarettes and stuff. And I was going, who are these guys? What's wrong with her? What's got into my sister, And it was these guys from Liverpool.
Oh, yeah.
And she's playing all these songs with these crazy accents, and it made a mark on young Bud.
Yeah. That was a far cry from Bob Wills,
That's right.
Texas Playboy.
And the sad thing is, the other day I was doing a gig and we were playing a Beatles song, and I said, "How many of y'all will attest to having seen the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show?" And some kid goes, "Who's Ed Sullivan?"
Yeah. Then you're old.
Yep.
So, Buddy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me.
We're honored that you're here, and I guess you're doing okay.
Doing pretty good. Just chugging along.
How was the drive over?
Oh, it wasn't so bad. Traffic wasn't so bad, and I got out before it hit, and then after we finish up, I've got to get to the gig. So, and I'm hoping it'll be cleared up by then, so I can just kind of drift on over that way.
Well, talk about your gig a minute. Tell everybody where it's at in case they want to run up there and see you.
Well, I'm playing at the Tavern on Main Street in Richardson tonight, and it's a real fun little thing we do on Thursday over there. It's my friend General Falls has heads up a band called the North Texas All Stars, and a real good aggregation of very good players. That there's kind of a it's a static kind of thing. It's usually the same guys, but there's several chairs there that move around a little bit. But they're always really good players, and a good variety of music. We have fun doing it. And tonight I have my friend from Spain, Mr. Santiago Campillo, is in town. And I'm going to take him over there and play some.
Awesome.
So we're going to have fun.
Awesome. So what motivated you early on to play the guitar?
Well, like I say, it was in my house. Music was in our house. And,
Right.
and like I say, my sis bringing home the Beatles and stuff,
Right.
And I remember watching Cowtown Jamboree and Big D Jamboree on Saturday with my dad. I'd sit there and I'd go, okay, now Leon Rhodes with Ernest Tubb plays an Epiphone guitar with the two big Mickey Mouse looking ears on it,
Right.
And I'd watch the guys on Cowtown Jamboree, and they'd have a lot of Telecasters, and once in a while you'd see a Precision bass or a Stratocaster, and Les Paul once in a while. And as it got more into the 70s, I just got more interested in seeing all that stuff. And 8 years old, I finally talked him into getting. My dad went to White's Auto Store and bought a $15
Wow.
Stella acoustic that said Catalina. That was their store brand.
Wow.
I played that one a long time.
White's Auto.
Whoa.
Well, we didn't know anything about music stores. He used to get Black Diamond strings at North Richland Drug, the drugstore. You know, I guess there was, you know, CNS Music was right down the street, but I thought that was for like horns and trumpets and saxophones and stuff.
Yeah, that's funny. So you got started in the business pretty much in the 70s, right?
Yeah, early 70s.
Early 70s. And how has the business changed? You've been in it a long time.
Well, this will go a lot smoother if we don't discuss the business of it.
Yeah.
Playing the music's great. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And you know, once in a while, you get to the gig, you do the gig, you get paid, and you get home, and that's an okay deal. You know what I mean?
And that never has changed.
Well, yeah, but I mean, sometimes the business part of it is just you know, you get there and there's somebody else booked when you're booked, or you know, which happens once in a while.
Yeah.
But or you'll have somebody that's pretty much told you you're going to have some gig and it doesn't happen for you, and you got to close that door up there and start looking for something to fill that date. And I mean, you know, a lot of these guys that are have the wherewithal to have somebody to do that for them. See, I don't do that, you know what I mean?
Right.
But you know, I can't complain much about it. I mean, I shouldn't anyway, because I get to do it.
Right.
I still like to do it.
Right. Well, do you think the technology, has your experience, the technology has really helped you with the phones and all the social media and all that going on?
Well, it takes up a lot of your time, and if you use it to your advantage, I mean, you know, yeah, I suppose. I mean, I don't do Twitter or any of that stuff. I got a Facebook page that I try to put my gigs on, you know.
Right.
And everybody from my vintage that still goes out, you know, somewhere after dark, they might show up if I say I'm playing somewhere, you know.
Right.
Especially if they're giving away barbecue or something, which was the deal last night.
Oh man. Well, let's let these guys hear one of your tunes. What do you say?
Well,
let's back when
the Beano was bought. Okay, let me do a little preface on
Okay.
that. The Beano, as it is affectionately known, is an album that John Mayall made in about 1965. It's called Blues Breakers with John Mayall Blues Breakers with Eric Clapton. It was one of the first time, I believe, or if I'm not right, somebody from over the pond can correct me, but I think maybe Eric might have been, if not the first, one of the earliest to actually plug an old Les Paul into a Marshall amp and get that glorious, you know, brown sound.
Right.
And this is about that. That album is called the Beano. That's the nickname because if you look at the cover, there's an English comic book called the Beano, and Eric's sitting there looking at this comic book like this while the others are looking at the camera, you know, and he's trying to be real, you know, uninterested in the photo shoot.
Right.
So anyway, because he's got this Beano, the album became called the Beano album. And it's just, you know, after hanging around with John Mayall and those guys for a while, that's just kind of my adaptation and my understanding of those days.
Right.
Back when the Beano was boss.
Cool. Well, let's let them hear it.
In the 60s, civil rights were causing a rift. Ideas and opinions were beginning to shift. A lot of young Americans hadn't been hip, but the blokes and the birds, they saw the blues as a gift. It was back when the Beano was boss. We were just trying to get our point across, paying the price no matter what the cost. Back when the Beano was boss. Voice of America beaming in, blasting John Lee Hooker and a guitar slim, while Buddy and the Wolf was grooving in style at the far left end of your AM dial. Well, it was back when the Beano was boss. We was playing the blues, we didn't give a toss, with a bone to pick and a notion to cross. Back when the Beano was boss.
Actually,
Sure, it was louder than hell. Can you please turn it down? We're way in the red. Young EC never heard a single word he said. There's been nothing like it before or since. It's all
Always
quite
will.
sterile in the present
Always.
tense. Those days of abandon are sadly long
remodeling
gone.
or
Mike Burns in
repairing?
Spain and Gus Dudgeon's gone on. Once at the crossroads, I heard it again. That signature sound singing in the wind. John and the band still playing your town. 46 years on, still knocking miles down. But back when the Beano was boss, if you didn't live it, it's truly your loss. The soul intact, but the innocence lost. Back when the Beano was boss.
That's awesome.
damn, that's good.
Great song.
Thank you, gentlemen. I was kind of proud of that song.
Yeah, absolutely. Good reason to be. Now, you mentioned John Mayall, so people need to know you played with John Mayo for what, about 15 years?
Yeah, John Mayall, Mayall, the father of British blues. He's 85 years old and still out there, like I say, knocking miles down in the song. He just had a little bout with pneumonia, but I think he's doing okay, and he's back out there among them.
Wow, still carrying his own gear, I wonder.
Well, yeah, well, actually, I think he finally. I guess Claude Taylor's still working with him. Claude was kind of a road manager that we had after Joe Uele, our drummer, was pretty much the guy that did all the day-to-day road things.
Right.
And then Claude entered the picture, and he got to where he would go set the stuff up, you know.
Right, right.
But for the longest time, John, you know, he would set our stuff up. I mean, it was like he would load the stuff in the back of a van if we were traveling by van, like a Rubik's cube or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he would just like, step out of the way, boys.
Yeah.
I see how it goes. You know.
Yeah. Well, what I thought, first time we actually sat down and had a conversation, and we've had I guess a couple of them now. It's just so impressive that you played with John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. Just knowing who he is.
Well, it was a big surprise to me. But, I mean, it all started back over in Dallas Alley, in the Dallas Alley days. Mm-hmm. And Jerry Thompson, I think, who now runs Promoter Line, back then he was running the whole Dallas Alley complex.
Right.
And we had a band called the Sidemen. And Jerry would hire our little band to go over there and open for a lot of people over there. And that's how I met John over there. I was playing, and I just happened to look down to my right, and he's down there putting his keyboard legs together, you know.
Yeah.
And, I didn't think much about it. I got a little nervous, and later on he handed me a card and said, he said, I don't have a record deal now. He said, but in a couple of years, he goes, well, if everything shapes up like I hope it will, I may call you to come play on a record with me. And I'm like, I'm trying to be
not swallow your tongue.
Yeah. So as it stands, it worked out, and it was 15 years of steady employment. And pretty good steady employment too.
And during those 15 years, something that I thought was really cool is that you go from just being this guitarist in Fort Worth, Texas, Fort Worth guy, and then you wind up with John Mayall traveling all over the world, and then you've played on stage with some guys that have equally been, music heroes of mine.
Of mine, too.
Mick Nelson of the early Stones.
Mick Taylor.
Oh, Mick Taylor of the early Stones. I think of Mick Nelson because I worked with this guy a long time ago in the police department, and he was a good friend named Mick Nelson. So my mind always goes back to him. But, yeah, Mick Taylor from the Stones, and then Billy Gibbons, ZZ Top.
Never actually played on stage with Billy.
Oh, you didn't?
But we opened a lot of shows for ZZ on their Antenna tour, which I could have gone home and found a shoe store and went in and filled out an application and put my guitar in the closet and just
Yeah.
tried to fit old lady's shoes for the rest of my life, because that was really that was about as good as it got for me, as being out on a ZZ tour. I really enjoyed that.
Oh yeah, and he even you showed me that guitar one time where he actually drew his.
Actually, I have another one
caricature.
now. I got.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, we played the other night, the Dr. Wu band. We were playing at Club 81, which is on the same property as Billy Bob's out front. It's the old Brown Derby restaurant.
Yeah.
But it's called Club 81, and we played in there while Billy was out on his solo tour and was playing in Billy Bob's. And I went in there, took the newer guitar that I was playing in there, and I got him to draw another one on there.
Did you really?
So I got another mojo to last maybe as long as I will now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then there's I guess Peter Green,
Fleetwood Mac,
and actually Mr. Fleetwood himself, right?
Yeah. See, Mick Fleetwood. John used to play in Hawaii every other year or so.
Mm-hmm.
And Mick Fleetwood and John McVie both had property on Maui, and we would play the Maui Performing Arts Center. And I don't think John McVie ever made one, but Mick Fleetwood came several times. And one time he had Stevie Nicks with him,
Wow.
And Mick, we couldn't get Stevie to sing, but Mick came out and played with us, and it was really cool.
I guess. Yeah.
It was a big deal for me.
Well, and then Eric Clapton. I know I've seen you on stage with Eric.
Well, see, that's another thing, because Eric was in John's band when he was 19, 20 years old, and what was that, 64, 65 is when the Beano came out.
Right.
And he was in the band, a little before that. He'd just come out of the Yardbirds and gone into to Mayall's band. And yeah, that was a big deal too. It was, getting he was such a nice guy and very accessible, and he made sure he stayed around long enough that everybody got to talk to him a little bit,
Right.
And it was very enjoyable evening.
Yeah, a lot of memories there, aren't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
good work if you can get it too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, you did for a long time. I think back to that one of those interviews we did. I think it was one at Taubert's, and we both were eating the chili.
Yep.
For the show.
Well, I took a lot of flack on that from my buddies over in England.
You did? No, hell no. You didn't take shit. I'm the one that got all the flack. Did you read all those YouTube comments I got? I mean, they wanted to kill me. It was like they're going to get a contract.
Buddy, you got chili on your shirt.
Oh, they were. You know what?
Buddy, I didn't know you drank beer.
Yeah, I edited it out most of the time. When he was eating, I edited it out because, if he was eating, I mean, he was the guest. He was eating, so they didn't need to see him eat. So when I would edit out, but I didn't edit out me eating because he was talking.
I got a little closet at home that I go hide in when I'm going to have a hot dog or something.
I got more Europeans pissed off at me for being rude to Buddy Whittington. I mean, if anybody's got a fan club in Europe, it's this dude right here.
I love them all.
You go back and read those comments. I mean, they were nasty ass, ugly comments about me, and they were even picking on the color of my shirt. I mean, they said, "Did you ever read all those?" You did, didn't you? You laughed too, didn't you?
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
So screw you guys. If I had a bowl of freaking chili, I'd be eating it right now, right now. Every time Buddy talked, I'd eat a bowl of chili. Because in Texas, it's not illegal and it's damn sure not rude. But anyway, so and you ate. It wasn't just me. You were eating. I just edited it out.
But I kind of had a gun to my head.
No, you did not. You did not.
But I can't. I got to say right here. That Taubert's chili is
it is good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it is. I wish I had some right now. And I love those peppers.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Kathleen, they take pretty good care of us over there. They have live music all week long.
7 days a week.
Which is unheard of anymore.
They're good people. They're like family. They're great people. Hey, buddy, let's play them. Let's play them another one.
All right.
Let's do, how about I Still Got Your Tattoo?
This is from the new Dr. Wu, Riding with Dr. Wu. I guess I don't want to overstay my welcome here, but I need to set up Dr. Wu.
Yeah.
Dr. Wu is a songwriting collective of my friends Jim Ashworth and Brian Fries, and they write most of these tunes, and sometimes they'll let us have a little piece of them if we can do something that adds a little to it. This is volume 5, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
We've done 4 videos or 4 albums and CDs and a video, and it's been a real fun thing. And they write these tunes, and I've been fortunate enough because there's all kinds of players that have played on the first several, and we, our band being, Mouse Mays and Wayne Six and Mike Gage and myself and Gary Grammer and Danny Cochran and Sonny Colley and all these great guys from around, Fort Worth and Dallas play on these things. But we've been fortunate to be kind of the core band on most of them, and they have some really cool tunes. And anyway, this is one Brian wrote called "I Still Got Your Tattoo." It's about this guy that goes out and has a drink and decides he's going to do something that sort of changes his life forever.
I'd had one too many. I was feeling no pain. Down to my last 20 when the idea came. Found a tattoo parlor. Must have been insane to spend my last dollar on a heart with your name. Now you're gone, you ain't coming back. Nothing could be worse, 'cause your name is scrawled in black. It's a permanent curse. I know I'll never be rid of you, and there ain't nothing that I can do. All that's left reminding me of you. I still got your tattoo. I see your name every night and day. I know I'm to blame. That ink, it just don't fade. I find someone new, it's always the same. What can I do when they see your name? Now you're gone, you ain't coming back. Nothing could be worse, 'cause your name is scrawled in black. It's like a permanent curse. I know I'll never be rid of you, and there ain't nothing I can do. All that's left reminding me of you. I still got your tattoo, baby. Now you're gone, you ain't coming back. Nothing could be worse, 'cause your name is scrawled in black. It's a permanent curse. I know I'll never be rid of you, and there ain't nothing that I can do. All that's left reminding me of you. I still got your tattoo.
Great song.
That's Brian Freese's writing there, I believe. And me and Mouse Mays playing guitars on it, Wayne Six, and Mike Gage on drums.
Yeah, yeah. So how long you been playing with those guys?
Oh, we've been doing it 10 years anyway.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, it seemed like a long time.
Yeah, y'all work really well together.
Well, we have fun with it.
Y'all stuck together
Yeah,
too.
and I mean, like I say, once in a while they'll bring somebody else in. James Pennebaker, who's another Fort Worth guy that currently resides in Nashville, has played on a lot. As a matter of fact, he's on the Buddies Bolero. Jim Ashworth just had to name that because of Jeff Beck's Bolero.
Right. Right.
And he just did it, to be funny. But
Right.
James is playing violin or fiddle on that one, and he's a great guitar player. And he's out playing with Delbert McClinton now, and played with Delbert for many years,
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of very good players involved with it. Stephen Bruton was in there, when he was available, and just some really, really stellar guys.
Hey, set up Young and Dumb for me.
Young and Dumb, that goes way back. I was in a '64 Ford Falcon that my dad had, that was his work car, and it was my car when it wasn't his.
Yeah.
And I was playing a gig at the Field House at Birdville Stadium.
Wow.
And I had to drive from Hearst to Haltom City, and the fuse blew for the taillights in the Falcon, and I got pulled over, and I got a ticket on my way from Hearst to Haltom City, which is probably 5.5 miles maybe, And that just happens when you're young and dumb in a '64 Falcon.
Now, before I play it, I got to ask you this because it just came up. And what was the name of that club that was over in the HEB area? I think that it seemed like it was more country western, but you had to bring your own. Booze. I was wondering if you'd ever played
What
there.
era is this?
I'm talking about the '70s.
Well, I think Bring Your Own Booze was over. Liquor by the Drink was available then. But I mean, you're not talking about Jubilation, are you?
No, it was over in the HEB area.
Yeah.
It was a big. I thought it was a country western.
Oh, no, you're talking about 9 Acres?
9
Yeah,
Acres.
yeah. Played there many times.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Wow. Yeah.
It's down in, that's almost all, I guess, Keller now,
Well, where was it? I don't even remember where it was.
It was Precinct Line Road, headed north at McDonwell School Road. One way is McDonwell, the other way is North Tarrant. And there's a Walmart and a Target. I mean, you can't hardly get around in there.
That's where it was.
Yeah, it was 9 Acres.
Wow.
Played many a night there with Steve Fortner and my buddies in the Texas Rhythm Band. And there was a lady, real sweet little lady, that used to be in there all the time, that she would dress up in her, finery, like,
Right.
evening gown, and come in there with a mannequin, a torso of a mannequin with a pole coming out of, with the bottom of it with wheels on it, and he would have a tuxedo on. And this lady would dance with that out in the dance floor, and you look at her and think that she was completely flipped her wig. But what it was her husband had died, and they were a dancing couple, and she didn't want to dance with another man.
Wow.
And she would come out there and dance, and everybody respected her and loved her.
That's
and stayed out of her way,
That's huge.
Those were the days. You don't see stuff like that. Well, I guess you could see it. You probably have to pay for it now.
Well, that's love. Man, that's real love. Wow. Okay. I learned how to dance in that place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Next door or later on, they had Smokeless Acres, too. Did you ever know that?
No,
Yeah, they had that was back when you could smoke in the bars, and the next one they had next
Was
door.
smokeless.
So people could come in there without having to breathe that nasty old smoke.
Wow. Okay, guys. So Young and Dumb.
Old man in his bathrobe, he's wondering where I've been. He's reading the New Testament, smoking a Herbert Tarleton. Sneaking around the back door, bound to be my best bet. 7 a.m. and I ain't been to bed yet. Coconut Grove on the Jacksboro Highway. Laying walls across Texas, honky-tonkin' hideaway. Making my best play, pretty sure I'm winning her. 64 Falcon. Got to make the gig before 9:30 come. Red lights start to flash, pull it over to the right. Something wrong, fuse is blown, ticket for no tail lights. Wednesday night at Omar's, howling at the moon. $4 buys the hangover of doom. #1 prescription for a thirst you can't slake. Made Milwaukee famous, gave me a headache.
Yeah.
Oh.
Forgot.
There we go. We're back. We're back. So, great tune there, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Just another night of misspent youth.
Yeah, yeah. It's fun talking about those days.
Well, it's fun still being able to talk about them.
Yeah, right, right. So, you've been around a long time. You've been playing forever, and you've got to do some things that some people never get the opportunity to do. Play with some of the people that they'll never get the opportunity to even see. What advice would you give some young person starting out in the business today?
I always tell them to do their homework, because that's what I didn't do, and that's why I'm still doing what I,
In what way?
Well, I mean, I'm literally do their homework in school, especially the young, especially the young ones,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like I say, if you're going to do it, if you're going to try to make playing music your life, you just better, buckle up and get prepared for it, because you're going to have some, you'll have some slow times and some good times, which is, I guess, true for anything.
Right.
But especially now that the way the world has changed and the business has changed and the copyrights and publishing and all that kind of stuff. I mean, everything's free on the internet, which makes it difficult to sell music.
Right.
So that's why the biggest part, even large acts, they're going out playing gigs and doing tours because they're not worried about going and making albums, because somebody somewhere in the world will make it available to you for cheap or free.
Right. Right. Well, what's next for Buddy Whittington?
Oh, I think I'm going to go to Benito's and have some enchiladas.
Well, that sounds good.
Well,
Benito's good?
Yeah, it's real. Actually, I'm just kidding. I went over there with Santiago and his buddies the other night. Me and Kathy and Robert went over there with them and had a nice dinner over there when they first got in. The American Airlines lost their bags and they were still in Spain when they got here. So we had to kind of,
Yeah.
But I'm just going to try to keep doing what I've been doing all this time, and like I say, I don't go overseas as much as I used to. I hope I get to do it again, but it's going to have to be the right kind of thing.
Well, you were just over there last
Well,
October,
I've
was
been
it?
over. Yeah, it's October of 17, I guess. October, November. I was over there opening for John Mayall and
Right.
And doing some gigs with my bass player buddy and good friend, Mr. Pete Stroud, and Brendan O'Neill that used to play with Rory Gallagher and all kinds of all manner of great musicians over there. Brendan was playing drums because Darby Todd, our usual drummer, he's out. He's been out playing with Martin Barr, who's a big hero of mine. He's played with Jethro Tull all these years, and now he's out with his little project, his solo project, and Darby's playing with him, and I wish him the best on that because they sure sound good. And like I say, just trying to stay with it the rest of the way if I can. I'm not quite ready to put on the blue vest yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
I may at some point have to be at the door of Walmart,
Well, let's I doubt that, but who knows? We all might wind up there. Hey, let's play another one.
All right.
Okay, Second Banana.
Second Banana, okay, and it's autobiographical, but it doesn't involve some of the principal characters that you might think it does. Let's just say that.
Okay.
But it's about being a sideman in a touring concern, and some of the things that you have to do as other than your job description. I mean, loading in, loading out, setting up, do a couple of songs before the big shot comes out, and
Right.
selling CDs while the big shot's sawing logs in his bunk, and which didn't actually happen. That was a little poetic license there. And if you listen real close on the record, you can hear Wayne Six snoring.
Uh-oh.
He was asleep in the studio, and Mike Gage put a great big old U-87 on a boom right over his nose. He was going.
Poor Wayne.
Yeah.
Did he get credit for that?
I think he might have. I think we might have put it on there.
All right, here you go. Second Banana.
May not be the fairest in all the land, but if you need the gig done, baby, I'm your man. I'll be there when your artist goes berserk, 'cause the thunder makes the racket, but the lightning does the work. I can get the show on from Altoona to Atlanta, backing up the front man. I'm the second banana. I'll listen while you moan about your life, run interference with your girlfriend, meet your next ex-wife, take you to the hotel when it's a drag, and wait out at the airport when they've lost your bag. I'll keep track of your man purse with your phone and your day planner. I can make it happen. I'm the second banana. There ain't much of a market for good old boys like me, 'cause when the lights come on, we ain't the ones you paid to see. But I can set the gear up and start the show, while the big shot's in the lobby selling swag and snagging all your dough. I can fake your autograph while you're in your pajamas, sawing logs in your bus bunk. Thank you, second banana.
I can make a snap decision when they bounce the check in Boise. I'm a pretty good technician when your preamp tubes get noisy. Your constructive criticism serves to add to my annoyment, but I perform with great precision to provide sustained employment.
Sinatra to Santana, play strategically behind them. Just a second, banana.
Another great tune by the legendary
Legend.
Buddy Whittington. Hey, friend of ours, John Harkey III, wanted me to ask you about Gary Moore, buddy.
Well, I got to play with Gary a little bit, and he was very helpful to us. I met him actually, you know, of course, running around with John Mayall because we would be in the UK a lot. And Gary lived in Hove, which is down around Brighton in the south of England, that's south of London. And if he was not on the road himself, he would always come sit in with us, or at least come see us if he didn't sit in, you know. And then when I started going over there by myself, of course, I wasn't playing the same big gigs that John played, but he would come play the pubs with us and just stand in the back and play, you know. And then one day I got an email from him, and he said, "Would you like to open for me on my UK tour?" You know, I mean, the way I understand it, Gary didn't like to fly, and that's the reason he didn't play over here much. But he could take a bus anywhere he wanted to overseas.
He was
you know.
Irish, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
From Belfast.
Yeah.
And a great player and a great guy. He really helped me out by, you know, letting you coming to play with us for one thing, and then he asked me to do that tour, and me and Pete and Darby went and did it. And actually, Mike Gage played on some of those dates. I guess Mike Gage played on that tour because Darby was off doing something else. But we played to a lot of people that we would never have played to otherwise.
Right.
And, it really helped out. And he's, like I say, he's a you know, just as good as they get playing wise. You know.
Right. Right. What do you say we play another one?
Okay.
This is my choice. Buddy's Boogie.
Okay. Well, this is from the Dr. Wu, Riding with Dr. Wu, and this is kind of a, like I say, Buddy's Boogie. There's also a Bud's Boogie and a Bud's Bounce. They go back to Buddy Charlton and Buddy Merrill and all the, you know, the great guys that were unfortunate enough to be named Buddy in years gone past. But this was Jim Ashworth's attempt at being funny with my name a little bit. And it's kind of what we did was we were trying to get a little bit of a, and I don't know if we got it or not, but we were sort of aiming at Albert Collins' Frosty on this. And Danny Cochran played drums on this, and Sonny Colley played bass on this one. And Red Young flew in some B3 organ parts from Austin.
Wow.
And, it's okay. I wish I could go back and play about half the notes I played on it, though. Well, I must have had some silicone grease around or something.
That's a great one. All right. So, buddy, how should people contact you if they want to book you or just reach out to you? Schedule, where do you keep all that?
Well, I'm a little behind on it right now. Of course, I have BuddyWhittington.com.
You say that every time we talk.
I mean, it's hard to keep it up when you're working all the time. Like I say, I don't have people, you know what I mean?
I know.
And I got to do it myself. And I mean, you know, I'll get into. I do my best. I have people call me on it all the time. Well, we were off the other night. We were going to come see you, but we couldn't find you.
Oh.
You know.
Yeah.
And anyway, there's that. Or like as not, my personal Facebook page, I yak on there a lot, and I will generally put where I'm going to be, maybe 2 or 3 days out to kind of give people a heads up. And I, like I say, I try to keep it on my website.
Right.
But between that and a Facebook page, you know, you can generally tell.
BuddyWhittington.com.
Yeah.
Be the website. All right, cool. You want to play one more before we
Sure, if you got time.
end this show? Yeah, we got time. What time you got to be up there?
Oh, I got to start playing at 8.
Oh, okay.
You're not, you know, if I had a roadie, I'd just show up about 10 till, but, you know, I got to go up there and strap my amp around my back and go on all fours all the, from the parking lot to the, you know.
You and John May all.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, I really appreciate, I know I've told you this, but I want to say it again. I appreciate that program you got him to sign for me.
Yeah, he's good about
That was
stuff
awesome.
Like that. I had a bunch of them, and we had a little signing party that night.
Oh, okay, cool. So I appreciate that. Okay, buddy, what do we want to do here?
I tell you what I would like to do, and this is the last song on my first album, and it's called Every Shut Eye Ain't Sleeping, Every Goodbye Ain't Gone. And I just think it kind of tells a story about, you know, the way things are in life, and sometimes they're not what they're supposed to be. And, you know, you got to be true to yourself. And, you know, I don't want to get too preachy or anything, but it's just good words to go by, I think.
Right. Okay, let's let them hear it.
Chances are they ain't. You better listen to your spirit, to thine own self be true. You gotta face the fact that what you thought was black and white might make you blue. Cause every shut eye ain't sleeping, every goodbye ain't gone, every teardrop ain't weeping, every broken rule ain't wrong. Two sides to every story, a second verse to every song. Every shut eye ain't sleeping, every goodbye ain't gone. Now you can see it all on TV, all over your neighborhood. Somebody's hustling somebody, trying to sell you a bill of goods. You gotta exercise your option to leave no stone unturned. You got to do your best to bypass the BS and rest assured you won't get burned. Cause every shut eye ain't sleeping, every goodbye ain't gone, every teardrop ain't weeping, every broken rule ain't wrong. Two sides to every story, a second verse to every song. Every shut eye ain't sleeping, every goodbye ain't gone. Now ignorance is no excuse, but the evidence will no doubt produce the truth when all the dirt's been dug that you was lying like a rug. Every shut eye ain't sleeping, every goodbye ain't gone, every teardrop ain't weeping, every broken rule ain't wrong. Two sides to every story, a second verse to every song. Every shut eye ain't sleeping, every goodbye ain't gone.
Awesome.
I like that one because my good friend Michael Hamilton got to play on that with us, and that was one of the last things he did before the Big C took him away.
Wow.
And I want to send that one out to T. Hamilton right there if she ever gets a chance to listen to this, because we all thought a lot of Michael. We all learned a lot from him.
Right. Awesome, buddy. Guys, I just want to note that we've got some friends in Memphis at the International Blues Challenge right now. We've got Shake Anderson.
Shake is out there. And if you guys are on Shake's Facebook, be sure and go listen to that band. Man, they are killing.
They are.
If they don't win, that jury's rigged.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I know.
They sound so good.
I know. I got the honor of being one of the judges for that North Texas.
Well, that thing is rigged.
And and hands down, Shake, they blew it away. They were awesome. And then also my little friend Dylan Bishop Shaw, he's in the youth showcase 5 p.m. on Friday. And that little guy, he's awesome.
Yeah,
and
Dylan's doing very good for himself. He used to come to Big Barn Barbecue and see his mom and dad would sit out there with their phones, take videos of him playing Hideaway with our band.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's doing very good for himself. Him and my brother Cadillac Johnson.
Yeah.
Dirk Cordes playing drums with him, and they are plowing that field out there.
That is awesome. Yeah, I got to interview that I had him on my Strokers show back a while back, and that guy's awesome. But also Hula Allen is competing in that. He's there too.
Is he doing it with a band or by himself? Because he does both so good.
His own. He's doing the solo gig. So
he's another talent. Great guy too.
Yeah,
wonderful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're all. I'm so happy for all of them. But they're there now competing in Memphis, and guys, I'm sure they would appreciate any support, prayers, thoughts. Hopefully they'll bring back some gold. So a shout out to Hula and Shake and Dylan.
Maybe Reggie Young's spirit will be on him up there a little bit. You know, Reggie just checked out, and he was a Memphis guy that played on Elvis's records and Dusty Springfield's records and Merle Haggard's records, and I mean
everybody's records.
And Reggie just went on here a while back.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think this is a wrap for this show. I'd really appreciate Buddy being here. Let's see. Got a few more things to cover. Remember, everything that you want to know about Barside Jive is located at barsidejive.com. Everything you want to know about Vokal, where we are tonight in Vokal Studios, is vocalnow.com. My show today has also been brought to you by Hip and Hippie. Hip and Hippie is a planet-loving company known for its high-quality, earth-friendly, 100% recyclable organic candle line and natural body care products. It's no wonder eco-supporting people love Hip and Hippie, hipandhippie.com. I want to thank Adonis. He's not in tie, but he still looks good. He's our photographer tonight, and we appreciate him. Pom Bomb Media. That's POMBOMB Media. And I want to thank Jimmy and Jay in the Vocal Nerve Center for their being here and helping make this show happen. Final thank you to Outlaw Cider for their amazing ciders. We're going to be there tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 p.m. Got a great show coming up there. Outlawcider.com is their website, but the show is going to be singer Kayla Travis Dunn and her childhood friend, who's a singer-songwriter, country recording artist out of Nashville, Jeff Claiborne. So they will both be with me at the live show at Outlaw Cider Company tomorrow at 4:30. So if you're in the area, come by. We'd love to have you. Come by and drink some cider with us, listen to great music. And stay right here after the show, because coming up right after me is Why Wouldn't We Radio with Jeremy, Ike, and Ashley. So something else to look forward to tonight. And I think we're about done, guys. So remember that genius is 1% inspiration, 9% perspiration, 90% a liquid diet of cider. And when you do subscribe to my genius theory, make sure the cider's Outlaw Cider. So, guys, we are
Did
out
you
of
stay up all night thinking of that?
No, that just came to me just a moment ago. So, guys, So, guys, we are out of here. Be kind to one another. Keep it real and keep on rocking. Next Thursday, 7:30 p.m. right here in Vokal Media Studios, Dallas, Texas. Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.